القلم. سهلنا والجبل منبت للرجال، قولنا والعمل في سبيل الكمال. كلنا للوطن للعلا للعلم، كلنا للوطن. سيفنا والفتى عند صوت الوطن، حسنها بالمدى ساورتنا الفتن. شرقنا قلبه أبدا لبنى، صانه ربه لمدى الأزمان. كلنا للوطن للعلا للعلم، كلنا للوطن.
Sorry about the weather, but we have to proceed with the proceedings today. To start our program, I ask you all to stand up quietly. Already you're standing up for the national anthems. National anthems of Australia and Lebanon.
Rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair. كلنا للوطن للعلا للعلم ملء عين الزمن سيفنا والقلم سهلنا والجبل منبت الرجال قولنا والعمل في سبيل الكمال كلنا للوطن للعلا للعلم كلنا للوطن.
Thank you very much, and I hope we will keep this silent so that we have to hear the speakers. My name is Rasil Dev, Chief Executive, Darabin City Council, and your MC for the unveiling ceremony of the Lebanese migrant statue. It's with great pleasure that I welcome you all to this great event for the Darabin community to unveil the statue that represents 150 years of Lebanese presence in Australia and in this city. Lebanon is a very small country in the geographical sense, but many of its people are spread all over the globe, and many here in Darabin. Lebanon is not only it has got a beautiful weather and a landscape that matches the Garden of Eden, I'm told. But it is the 15 million people who within and outside its political boundaries are distinguished for their courage, wisdom, generosity and love of life. There are many dignitaries here. We couldn't check or have an eye contact with them in this crowd, but I'll recognize at least some of them today before we start with the proceedings. We have Councillor Diana Asma, Mayor of Darabin City Council. We are honoured with Honourable Bill Shorten, MP, Minister for Finance Services and Superannuation and Assistant Treasurer. His Excellency Dr. Walid Daou, Lebanese Minister for Information. His Excellency Dr. Jean Daniel, Lebanese Ambassador, and Mrs. Daniel. Mr. Eid Chedrawi, World President of the World Lebanese Cultural Union Africa. Mr. Tony Yaqub, President of the WLCU GRC Australia and New Zealand. Mr. Yusuf Saba, President of the WLCU State Council of Victoria. The Honourable Daniel Andrews here, MP, Leader of the Labour Party, Leader of the Opposition. Senator Mark Ferner, Queensland Senator. Mr. Khalil Edin, MP, MLC Western Metropolitan Region. Maria Vambakino, MP, Federal Member for Colwell. Jenny Mikakos, MP, Member for Northern Metropolitan Region, Parliamentary Secretary for Planning. Mr. Bernie Finn, MLC, Member for Western Metropolitan Region. Mrs. Fiona Richardson, MP, Member for Northcote, Shadow Minister for Public Transport. Mr. Anthony Carbines, MP, State Member for Ivanhoe. Mr. Hong Lim, MP, Member for Clayton. Mr. Tim Singh Lawrence of Darabin City Council. Councillor Tim Singh Lawrence. Councillor Tony Maroon, Mayor, City of Strathfield. Councillor Tony Dipp, Mayor, City of Marunda. Councillor Patsika Theodoro, Mayor of Hume City Council. Councillor Oscar Yildiz, Mayor of Moreland City Council. Councillor Stella Carrio Philidis, Mayor of Moreland City Council. Councillor Tony Hallow of Moreland City Council. Councillor Michael Raphael, Mayor of Hobsons Bay City Council. Councillor Tony Briefer, Deputy Mayor of Hobsons Bay City Council. Councillor Tony Hawk of Hobsons Bay City Council. Councillor John Saipak, Mayor of Moonee Valley City Council. Councillor Shirley Cornish of Moonee Valley City Council. Councillor Ange Kenos of Moonee Valley City Council. Councillor Jan Chendry of Moonee Valley City Council. Councillor Martin Sakharov, Deputy Mayor of Maribyrnong City Council. Councillor Pavlidis, City of Battersea. Councillor Frank Merlino, City of Battersea. Councillor Pam McLeod, City of Battersea. Councillor Marcel McFord, City of Windham. And we also have Mr. Hassan Haloli, representing the Futures Group, and Mr. Eli Kaltom, representing WLCU New South Wales. Thank you very much. I'm sure that I missed a number of the dignitaries today. They will bear with me. It is now with pleasure that I introduce to you our first speaker and the Mayor of this city, Councillor Diana Asma. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this very special occasion. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we stand here today, the Wurundjeri people, and I pay my respects to their elders past and present, and I'm sorry for the people behind me as well. I'd like to offer my personal apology if unintentionally we have forgotten some special guests here today, but I've been told we have missed our patriarch, did you say, Mr. Yao? So I apologise for all of you. Although our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Razia Dev, has already made the acknowledgements, I would also personally like to offer a warm welcome to my friend, the Honourable Bill Shorten, Minister for Financial Services and Superannuation Assistant Treasurer. Bill, there is no words. Where are you? Come forward, Bill. There are no words that can describe my appreciation of your presence in attending this worthwhile and important event that has a significant meaning to me and the Lebanese community as a whole. Darabin and I are very delighted that you are able to be here this afternoon, and I truly thank you for your support on a personal level. You have always been an inspiration through your commitment, your determination, your achievements, and delivering results to Australia. To His Excellency, Mr. Walid Ayoub, Lebanese Minister for Information, and Mr. H. Chedre, President of the World Lebanese Cultural Union, and to Mr. John Daniel, the Lebanese Ambassador for Australia. We are honoured and privileged to have you all here present for this very historical event that has brought the whole of Lebanese and the Darabin community together. And to each and every one of you that has made it here today, despite, unfortunately, the weather, which I do love. Your presence means a lot to me personally, and it is a profound testament to our strength as a community through our profound ties to both Australia and Lebanon. The city of Darebin is of extreme importance. It compromises our families, our neighbours and our leisure. It is the trees that shade us, the creeks and lakes that delight us, the water we drink and the air that we breathe. Darebin, like our state and nation, has become increasingly diverse. We are a multiracial, multicultural and multilingual city. We are a tapestry of ethnic traditions, a treasury of spiritual beliefs, and a force of idea, perspectives and talents igniting in dialogue. While diversity is our unique strength, it is also a unique challenge. This is why it is important to continue the traditions of tolerance, respect and collaboration that has guided Darebin City Council. Over 30% of Darebin residents were born outside of Australia, coming from more than 100 different countries with a multitude of different languages spoken. This diverse range of people and culture is what makes Darebin such a vibrant and a very welcoming place. It is a principle of mine that people seeking public office should not, I repeat, should not be looking at their personal ambitions, but be seeking to always return something to the community. Today I am proud, very proud, to be in a position to give back to the community, responsible for the erection of the Lebanese immigrant statue in the city of Darebin. In a small way, and I repeat, in a very small way, I am also proud that individually and collectively, members of our community are also giving back. I am not going to dwell on this topic because this is our duty. However, I want to thank many of you who have genuinely and closely worked with me on this wonderful project. Let me make it clear that this great achievement is not the efforts through individual person. It is the result of a collective effort of all of us that allowed this dream to become a reality. So none of us should claim individual credit of this success. The success belongs to all Lebanese persons and to all people in the city of Darebin. In Darebin, we have a written pact, our friendships, our respect for one another, and the well-being of our community. And our city is far more important than our political affiliations, our ambitions and beliefs. Anyone who undermines this understanding is on their own and has no support from our community. It is my great pleasure to unveil the Lebanese migrant statue today with my very treasured friend, the Honourable Bill Shorten. This statue portrays an early Lebanese migrant to Australia, but I believe it has even wider significance. It also pays tribute to the role migrants from all nationalities have played in building the wonderfully diverse society Australia enjoys today, particularly here in Darebin. The Lebanese migrant statue is clearly a fitting icon for the city of Darebin, reflecting the Lebanese history, a history of a country that dates back more than 6,000 years, a country that has a heritage as old as the earliest evidence of mankind. And for many people, Lebanon is an area where the sun rises. This statue symbolises the hard work, the determination, the commitment and achievements of all Lebanese, both those who are able and unable to attend today's event. Although this statue can in no way stand as a symbolic example for all the achievements, this statue is unique. Most statues are about individuals. about a war, about an event, but very few projects represent everybody. In fact, we are not exactly sure why the first Lebanese immigrated came to this part of the world. But according to Mr. Tony Yakub's message in the booklet that you read, they were on a journey to a different place to meet other friends and family and landed here by coincidence. We do not know, however, that we are all here because of two individuals that came here in so-called 1881. In just what is unknown is why they couldn't have landed in Hawaii. In all jokes aside, I can tell you that on behalf of every person in our community, there is nowhere else in the world we would rather be. This is where we belong and this is our home. I know that the Lebanese success story speaks a lot about us as individuals and as a community. But more importantly, it speaks volumes about this great and open nation and this beautiful country, Australia, that has embraced us and given us the environment in which we have been able to thrive. I am proud and very proud to support the dedicated work of the World Lebanese Cultural Union that has undertaken in bringing this special statue to our great city. I offer my personal congratulations by all the organising of the committee of the WLCU and the State Council of Victoria and its President, Mr. Yusuf Saba, for their success in making this monument a reality. I must state that those who work together, again, those that work together will succeed together. And I extend my hand to all of you here that I assure you all that I will continue to work for and represent the entire community. In concluding, I would like to quote Gibran Khalil Gibran, a Lebanese American poet and writer, who said, "Here I am, a youth, a young tree, whose roots were plucked from the hills of Lebanon. Yet I am deeply rooted here, and I would be fruitful." God bless.
Thank you very much, Mayor Asma. It's my pleasure now to invite our own Honourable Bill Shorten, MP Minister for Financial Services and Superannuation and Assistant Treasurer. Bill Shorten.
Good afternoon, everyone. I bring greetings from Prime Minister Gillard, who is at the East Asian Summit at the moment. But on behalf of the Federal Government of Australia, we welcome the Minister from Lebanon. We welcome representatives of the WCLU. I'd like to acknowledge my friend Tony Yakub, who does such great work in Australia for the organisation. I'd also like to acknowledge, amongst all of the dignitaries, and I won't repeat the list, I'd like to acknowledge Mayor Asma and representatives of Parliament. The unveiling of this monument is a world away from the genesis of the Lebanese people. The unveiling of this monument marks, in a new world, among other faces, how far the Lebanese adventure has come. From Lebanon's valleys and forests and towering cities, and the ancient journeys to the seaports of the Nile and the Danube and the Thames, came civilization as the rest of the world knew it, the alphabet as we know it, poetry and history and mathematics, and indeed astronomy. But the Lebanese adventure as we know it has come as well, as good news does, to the great southern land, suspected but never found by the ancients, first in the 19th century, then after World War II to 1975, and then again after the dreadful civil war marauded through the orchards and the pleasant sandstone suburbs of a beautiful city from 1976 for too many years. Since the war's end, many Australian Lebanese have gone back to their old home, at least for a visit, to revisit their family heritage, their old horizons and dreamings, and I think when they come back also glad to their new home here, while recollecting, of course, their loved ones behind. The migratory waves of Lebanese have seen each time a different Australia. Convict and working class, Anglo-Celtic at first, aspirational small business and Mediterranean in the next, and now the multicultural wonder, the Greeks, the war-smashed immigrants of the last quarter of last century. There are 250,000 Lebanese in Australia of Lebanese descent. Think about that. That's Ballarat and Bendigo, Bathurst, Bundaberg, Byron Bay and Broome. Prominent in every sector of our society, from the factory floor to the family business, to academic tutorial to corporate head office, the boardrooms and the high bureaucracy, and leaders in politics at local, state and national level. And of course the sporting halls of fame. We see the great Lebanese tendency to grow. When you look at the churches and the places of faith, you look at the local newspaper and the mutual societies, if you look in the congregations from the last century and the century before, if you look in the language classes and the football teams, if you look at the boarding schools and the aged care homes that meet and help and soothe the passage of many who've been brought here, perhaps in despair from centuries of heritage, that they will see no more with the eyes of childhood or as a young man or woman, villages smashed and irretrievable, traditions immolated in the curse of war. It seems to me in this statue and in the contribution of the Lebanese Australian people that the good things of the past can be and have been retrieved like embers of the great culture of Lebanon in this home away from home, and Lebanese Australians have breathed life into their cultural traditions until the embers glow again. It is good to be here amongst you, rubbing shoulders, rubbing along, as Australians do, shoulder to shoulder, working together, playing together, breaking bread together, praying together. It seems to me that the old life has been renewed again in Melbourne and Victoria and Australia, within and between each of you, in joy and passion and good humour, in the odd squabble and much hope. The great hope that motivates everyone that we can provide our children a better life than we had, and the expectation that they will provide the grandchildren a better life than what they have. The statue of the migrant reminds me that it is far from home, but this is home too. And I certainly am pleased on behalf of the federal government to be part of recognising the ongoing adventure which is the Lebanese contribution to Australia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill, for the flawless narration of a part of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honoured now to present to you His Excellency Dr. Walid Daoud, Lebanese Minister for Information, who has spent half a day in our city yesterday. Thank you.
Dear all, it's quite evident that migration has knocked on every Lebanese household's door, be it a family member, a relative, or a friend. The outstanding presence of Lebanese expatriates was and continues to be significant, and their impact on the Lebanese political, economic, and cultural life has been and continues to be vital. Today, Melbourne celebrates a long-distance love affair between Lebanese expatriates and their homeland. It's a special day in which thousands of Lebanese who have been integrated into Australian society for 150 years demonstrate great pride in their Lebanese roots. First and foremost, I would like to seize this remarkable opportunity to relay Lebanon's immeasurable gratitude to Australia and its people. This beloved country has generously opened its doors wide open before the Lebanese immigrants for more than 100 years. It has given them full access to freedom, security, equal success opportunities, and to all the requirements deemed necessary for building a successful and decent life. Yesterday, some of you willingly left Lebanon to Australia, whereas others left forcefully. What's for sure is that none had a clue about the future that awaited them. Today, the answer to this once vague mystery lies in the hundreds honorable and prosperous family of Lebanese origin residing in Australia, as well as in the hundreds of success stories that have glowed Lebanese names across the globe. Of course, you wouldn't have all made it if not for the boundless support of this noble country. My fellow Lebanese, it's your national duty to make use of all available opportunities to rectify the world's misconceptions about our great people. You are the best ambassador Lebanon could ever take pride in. Thus, you are tasked to show the entire world who we truly are: a rich culture, a grand civilization, unique traditions, respect for human rights, and most importantly, love for freedom and honesty. I felt so honored when I received an invitation from President Eid Chedraoui, President of the World Lebanese Cultural Union, to attend the unveiling ceremony of the Lebanese migrant statue. It is a great pleasure for me to be part of this grand event alongside the Lebanese community of Melbourne, which celebrates today 150 years of Lebanese presence in the blessed country. Cultural, social, economic, and political relations remain the main keys in building up personal links between Australia and Lebanon. In fact, bilateral relations are firmly grounded in people-to-people links, as evidenced by the Lebanese state's non-stop effort to expand these relations. The Lebanese government sees Lebanon as a bird with two wings, the resident and the migrant. The bird cannot fly with either of these wings. Listen. Lebanese migrants have maintained pulsating networks with each other and with their homeland. Whether individually or collectively, Lebanese migrants have always created solidarity with Lebanon and maintained it. This solidarity was and is the cornerstone for the diaspora's cultural, social, political, and economic activities. In terms of economic relations, Lebanese migrants have assisted Lebanon and its people by sending remittances, by visiting the country, creating businesses and trades, and through performing philanthropic activities. Social relations include contribution to organizations for that deal with social problems in villages and towns in Lebanon. Our dear Lebanese, Lebanon today needs more of your remittances. Be invested in similar projects, not just be deposited in banks. Lebanon ranks as one of the first countries in the Middle East and North Africa region in terms of remittances received from expatriates, and only 10% of the money is used for investments in projects, while the rest are used for covering other personal expenses. Besides, Lebanese expatriates' remittances contribute only to 25% of GDP. They also help strengthen ties between Lebanon and other countries and play a great role in preserving economic and social security in the country. Our government is always looking for means to boost the Lebanese economy by attracting expatriates to Lebanon as investors and not just as tourists. Albeit the contribution of Lebanese expatriates to the tourism activity in the country is sufficient for the success of the Lebanese tourism sector. Nevertheless, the Lebanese cabinet prime concern nowadays is finding the best means to improve Lebanon's democracy by implementing a modern electoral law that can reflect the true representation of Lebanon's many factions based on proportionality, and most importantly, gives the Lebanese expatriates the right to vote from abroad. True representation facilitates the governing process on all levels and grants rights to every person. Lebanon has many points of strength which helps its democracy a model for the world. We really hope that Lebanese parliamentary elections of 2013 would manage to give the Lebanese expatriates the rights to vote from abroad. We are strongly committed to this just cause. Our government is also stepping up efforts to adopt a law that would allow people of Lebanese descent to gain back the Lebanese citizenship, thus giving them the right to vote in 2013 along with expatriates. Last but not least, let us all keep working hand in hand not to miss the opportunity to ensure the best future for Lebanon's upcoming generations. Let's take our commitments to the next level and turn them into valuable actions. Long live Lebanon, long live Australia. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the thoughtful speech, His Excellency. Thank you for your patience too and stuff. Minister, the Melbourne is well known to have all four seasons on a day, so we are very used to this way. Bear with me, it won't be long now. And also, by the way, that I happen to have eye contact with the former Speaker of the House, Judy Madigan, and Councillor Stephen Cetus from the Darwin City Council, who are here. It's my pleasure to now welcome our next speaker. He has come all the way from Ghana via Lebanon with his wife. It's Mr. E. Chedrawi, World President of the World Lebanese Cultural Union. Thank you.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am standing here today in front of the Lebanese migrant statue, which takes us back 140 years ago, when the first Lebanese landed in this beautiful country, Australia. It is with great pleasure that my wife and I returned to Australia for the second time after an experience of warm and a friendly visit in 2010 when we unveiled the Lebanese migrant statue in Brisbane. The World Lebanese Cultural Union is a non-governmental organization associated with the Department of People Information in the United Nations and was recently accredited with the Economic Social Council of the United Nations. Please allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to state briefly the main objective of our union. Article 3 in our Constitution of the World Lebanese Cultural Union reads, to enhance and promote the spirit of allegiance and patriotism among members of the Union and through the countries in which they live, and to share actively for the benefit of those countries in the field of education, culture, society. Today's event is an example. Our ancestors, the Phoenicians, traveled to almost all Europe, Africa, and maybe the Americas 2,000 years BC for trading. But the Lebanese who migrated in the 19th century all over the world did that because of wars which took place at that period. Our ancestors, I'm sure there are many stories that you already know about the Lebanese migrants who arrived into this shore many years ago when Australia was still young. They worked hard to establish a new life. They succeeded and contributed back to Australia in many fields, be it business, medicine, politics, fashion, sports, not forgetting their participation as soldiers in the world wars. We gather here today to honor those quiet achievers and say thank you, Australia, for giving them the opportunity for a new way of life. We congratulate the World Lebanese Cultural Union in the state of Victoria, President and members, for the hard work and dedication towards this project. We also thank the Cultural and Heritage Affairs Committee, the instigator of this event, for encouraging diaspora around the world to erect similar statues in their countries of residence. However, this beautiful occasion would not have happened without the help of Durban City Council, Special Mayor Diana Asma, many thanks, and thank you for your generosity and support. Finally, we thank the Australian government and the people of Australia for their tolerance, understanding, and friendship. Long live Australia, long live Lebanon, long live the World Lebanese Cultural Union. God bless you.
Thank you for that. It is now with pleasure that I introduce you to, on behalf of the World Lebanese Cultural Union, State Council of Victoria, Monsignor Joe Tekshi, Parish Priest, Our Lady of Lebanon, Maronite Catholic Parish, Sharing Square.
Thank you. I'm glad we're all enjoying the beautiful Melbourne weather here this afternoon. It's for those who are not visitors, who don't live in Melbourne. This is Melbourne weather, and we love it. And we're all very welcome here today. Distinguished guests, religious leaders. We've got to acknowledge religious leaders before. Religious leaders are an integral part of our Lebanese community. Political leaders, community leaders, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. The Lebanese have been gazing out over the seas for many centuries, from the earliest periods of history, Phoenicians have sent ships from the ancient ports of Byblos, Tyre and Sidon, laden with goods to every known corner of the world. They filled their ships with valuable cedar wood, with grain, silk, oil, glass, and they set off across the oceans to trade and to make a living. They also carried with them a most important and a priceless cargo, which in time had a profound impact on the intellectual development of all people, the alphabet. This statue today is a tribute to the Lebanese who have migrated to Australia over the last 150 years in search of opportunities and in search of a better life. They established homes, they lived within new communities, they learnt new languages, they adopted new customs, while at the same time clinging on to the customs and traditions of their ancestors. As we look at the history of the Lebanese migration to Australia, we see stories of family loyalty, of success, of struggles, religious fervour, hard work, and dedication to values and principles that respect people of every race and every culture. History reveals that the Lebanese migrant in Australia looked for opportunities not just in the city, but across country Australia, establishing their homes in many country towns in every state. Tribute to the Lebanese migrant is a tribute to the appreciation and love for Australia and for all the challenges that this new homeland provided to those who chose to make Australia home. It is a tribute to the hawkers, the businessmen and women, the labourers and the housewives who nourished their families with love, generosity, food and words of encouragement. The statue pays tribute to the contribution of Lebanese migrants to Australian society. Many Lebanese and those of Lebanese descent made a positive contribution in Australia to politics, education, business, food, fashion, and indeed every aspect of life here in Australia. A number have served in the Australian Armed Forces. Some have been awarded with the Order of Australia Medal in recognition of their contribution to the Australian way of life. The Lebanese in Victoria have had a proud and a successful history. The community today represents people from different religions, different cities and villages in Lebanon, different associations and political parties. There are many thriving businesses, successful professionals, loving families and hard-working individuals. We have a very young and vibrant community with services that cater for the need of every person, including places of worship, schools, colleges and aged care facilities. Together we stand proud of the history and the contribution of every Lebanese migrant to our state, Victoria. We are proud of our heritage and proud of being integral members of the Australian society. We have grown to love our new homeland, Australia, accepted the challenges and taken advantage of the many opportunities available here to every Australian. We are dedicated and loyal citizens of this great country that has welcomed Lebanese migrants and nurtured and encouraged them to hard work and to success. We acknowledge and thank today the Minister for Information, His Excellency Dr. Walid Daoud, representing the Lebanese government. We acknowledge His Excellency the Ambassador for Lebanon in Australia, Dr. John Daniel. We acknowledge the World President of the WLCU, Mr. Eid Shadrawi, and the members of the World Lebanese Cultural Union who have come here today from different parts of Australia and the world. We acknowledge here today the many Australian members of Parliament, political, religious and community leaders. We thank all who have travelled from Lebanon and from other countries and from the different states of Australia to be here and to share with us here today this wonderful occasion. A project such as this involves much coordination and fundraising. I, on behalf of the WLCU, thank all those who have donated money to assist with the purchase, the shipping and the unveiling of this statue. We thank in particular the St. Raymond Charitable Association of Hachid in New South Wales and in Victoria, who are the major sponsors, and the many other sponsors who made this day possible. We are grateful also to the Darebin City Council here today, especially the Mayor, Councillor Diana Asmar, for your wonderful support and for their support in allocating this land here today as the site for the Lebanese migrant statue. The Mayor has gone out of her way to offer every assistance, and this gesture of goodwill reflects the many Lebanese who live and work and are active in the Darebin City Council. On behalf of the WLCU State Council of Victoria, with its President Mr. Yusuf Saba, I thank each and every one of you for your attendance today and for sharing this day of celebration with all Australians, especially Australians of Lebanese descent. Thank you very much.
I thank every and single one of you, but I have to acknowledge one person while we're all here together for his hard work, his dedication, and a very, very good friend, not only to all the Lebanese community, but also a very good friend of mine that's here as well, for all his hard work and dedication, and that is to Mr. Tony Yao.
Thank you very much for everyone. Thank you. Sorry if now any mistakes or anything now we apologize. Sorry. Thank you.
And now we have a cocktail and some champagne to celebrate this lovely occasion.
Thank you.